Next up at number 13 is Flag. This is a pseudo-documentary of sorts focused on two journalists filming events of a fictional civil war taking place in a West Asian country. One focus is on a young female journalist who's filming events through the perspective of a branch of the UN military who's tasked to recovering a flag from a terrorist organization trying to incite a civil war within the country unless the flag is present at a peace treaty signing to settle hostile conflicts within the country. And the other perspective is from a middle-aged journalist who's trying to uncover possible government corruption where an influential religious figure in the country is likely connected to the terrorist organization to try upholding his radical agenda. Flag is unique in the fact that, for the most part, the documentary is filmed entirely through the perspective of a video camera as both the middle-aged and young journalists record various events that are taking place. And you would also basically the series shifts between events as if you were on a laptop, because besides the this video footage that's filmed, you also get pictures of whatever the journalists uncover, along with top secret military data specs of the top secret technologies that they're trying to make use of. And the series does tackle subjects such as government corruption, the military trying to save its own hide, whether or not journalism is just in covering aspects to the military or government that they wouldn't want shown for security purposes or to save their own hide. And also, even though animation's not this title's strongest aspect, it does feature some fluid animation coming from the movements of the camera, the data plans that we get to see, the realistic looking character designs, and even the top secret military weapons we get to see unfold we get to see in action during the series as the UN military branch tries to get back the flag and fight off the terrorist faction. It's not for everyone because of how unique the narrative style of the flag is, but if you're looking for something very different from the norm for an anime series, then it wouldn't be a problem for you to give Flag a shot. Next up at number 12 is Gankasuo. I'm not a big fan of many works from Gonzo because the quality of their works tend to be quite hit or miss for me. However, if there is a work from Gonzo that I would consider the best that I've seen, and which did definitely impress me, that would have to go to Gankasuo. This is basically a futuristic take on the old literary work, focused on a mysterious man called the Count of Monte Cristo who comes down to Earth to get the attention of 3 wealthy families on Earth, whom, unbeknownst to them, the Count is plotting out plans of revenge against all 3 families because all the male figures within it are quite corrupt and were responsible for the Count's major downfall years earlier. The visual style does take some getting used to because it basically uses this pastel montage style sorts where it puts these different visual patterns onto the clothing and hair of the various characters we see throughout the series. But the storytelling though is top class. The series does slowly take its time on unraveling the complex and mysterious character of the Count as we come to realize he isn't what he seems. The male domineering figures within the three families he wants revenge on are not as they seem, and it does good enough to leave you wondering who you should be rooting for as we come to learn more about the various characters that we see throughout Gangatsuo, whether they be the younger members of the three families or the older one, or the older paternal members trying to maintain their status within French society despite their misdeeds getting uncovered by the Count. So, while I'm not a big Gonzo fan, the Gangatsuo is quite likely the best work that I've seen from them, and it is a personal favorite of mine. Next up at number 11 is Hibernate Renmei. This emotionally powerful 2002 fantasy drama is based on an original work from Yoshitoshi Abe. It's focused on a young girl named Raka who comes to connect with the members of a residence called Old Home, and she basically becomes this mysterious being called Hibernate who have a small pair of rings that grow out their back and they halos put on top of their heads, and they live in this walled up town called Glee. This series has some religious symbolism pertaining to the nature of the Hibernate and what a few of the characters, including Raka, come to learn when they question their existence and what they potentially could have done in their former lives that might make them sin-bound or question their fate. And it's this aspect that helps make the series emotionally powerful because these characters tend to question whether their former lives were anything meaningful or not. Starting off the top 10, at number 10 is Koikaze. This is my personal favorite romance title, but it is one that won't be for everyone. Basically, it focuses on the big societal taboo of incest focused around middle-aged wedding consultant named Koshiro Saiki who reunites with his younger sister in high school named Nanako Torinada. So basically, there's this huge age difference between the two. But despite this, it doesn't have any fan service. It doesn't pander to the otaku fan base in any way. It's pretty grounded and down to earth, and slowly showing just how these two eventually come together, despite the two of them knowing, either unsure why people would find this unacceptable or knowing that it's not acceptable, and eventually coming together by the end of this series. It's mainly focused on Koshiro's perspective as he comes to learn that This girl that he has a possible attraction to is his younger sister, and he knows that it would be frowned upon in society, whereas Nanaka is coming of age and is naive to norms of society and what's considered acceptable within it. This isn't anything like Kisses. This isn't anything like I'm in love with my younger sister or any incest pandering shit that would pander to fans of conventional anime. And because it's quite grounded and honest in its depiction of incest, it won't be for everyone, but if you're looking for a romance anime that's honest in its depiction of the taboo, then Koikaze is the best anime that you're likely to come across that explores it. Next up at number 9 is Cowboy Bebop. Ah yes, the perfect gateway drug anime for any new or casual anime fan to hop onto the bandwagon for. There's plenty to like about this series. It's, for the most part, it's mostly episodic, experimenting with different types of genres to dive into for Spike and the other members of the Bebop crew, and it does offer up some solid focus on the personal problems faced by the characters, such as Spike's running away from the Red Dragon crime syndicate, or Jet having a falling out with a former lover and being an ex-cop. The series also excels with its animation and music. Besides depicting its diverse genres, the animation's definitely above average for a late 90s anime title, having fluid animation with both spaceship battles and fight sequences whenever Spike's dealing with a bounty he's trying to hunt down. And the entire soundtrack, Cowboy Bebop, is composed by Yoko Kanno and consists of a diverse number of musical genres that are well known here in the West, such as blues, jazz, rock, bluegrass. So this series oozes plenty of style and substance together, and it's the perfect anime for anyone to start off their anime fandom with, alongside it being one of the best titles I've ever had a chance of checking out.